Right, guys, I am here to give you the results of the video the other day when we were talking about the top countries that we would want to live in if we had no choice, or if we had to live in America, what state we would choose. So I did this on Instagram. I did this over on TikTok. I've looked at most of it. There was a lot of DMs with a lot of people shouting at me. This is not me. I'm just going over the average of what everyone else has said, but I also will give my answer of my two preferences at the end after all my research. Yes, I do research. Mind your business. Coming in number one, we've got Switzerland. A lot of people say if you got a lot of money, going to Switzerland is really good. Apparently the crime rates are low. You know, it's good education, but you need to have a lot of goddamn money. Okay. Number two was the UAE. A lot of people mentioned Dubai. I put Dubai in my story yesterday, and everyone was like, that's not a country. I know it's not, Sharon. Obviously, a lot of people move here because of the safety, obviously the tax situation, 0% income tax or whatever it is. It's a good place to go. There was some honourable mentions. A lot of people mentioned Italy, but I think a lot of people just enjoy visiting Italy. A lot of people that actually lived in Italy were like, no. I was like, okay, don't shout at me. And then the States was mentioned quite a lot, but I do have an American following, so I don't know if these were biased choices. Right, heading over to the States. I did put New York City, but New York City's not a state. I know this, don't shout at me. I just made a mistake. I get it. But New York was mentioned. A lot of people mentioned the outskirts of the actual city. There's a lot of beautiful places to live. Okay, obviously Texas was a very popular one, and this was just based on, you know, the housing side. 0% state income tax. There's a lot of positives. And I know there's a lot of negatives that people want to get, but I'm going about buying a house and think about all of, don't shout at me. Tennessee was also mentioned. Georgia was also mentioned. The Carolinas, Florida, LA. There was a lot of mentions, but everyone was also shouting at me. You can't go there because of that. Don't tell me what to do, Sharon. But I'm going to give you my opinion. I'll be really honest. I love the look of Georgia in Atlanta. Obviously, Atlanta's got one of the biggest airports. So if I ever move there in the future or whatever, being able to get everywhere else is quite good. Be able to come back home to the UK. Quite easy direct flights. And I like it. I looked at some is it Alpharetta, Johns Creek, and I think there was Milton. But a lot of those areas were nice. And then Franklin and Brentwood in Tennessee. So I was looking at that area and I was like, I like it. I looked at some of the properties. I was like, that's not too bad, Sharon. In regards to countries, I don't mind Switzerland, you know. But I think if I could live anywhere, I don't know. I would live somewhere where no one's going to hassle me and there's no oceans around. How about that one, Sharon? So, yeah, that's the video. Don't shout at me. There's the result.